Hey everyone, welcome to my backyard. Today's June 26, 2026, and tomorrow is the Florida Mango Festival in West Palm, and I'm so excited to go. Today I wanted to give you guys a little tour of all the fruit trees growing in my backyard. It's been so hot here lately that it's been really hard to get outside and film anything. It's been hard on me and it's been hard on the plants. So starting off, we have the apple banana or the manzano banana. Thanks, Dad. This is my first rack ever of bananas growing here at the house. He gave me some pups when my parents moved out of their old house into their new house. We always loved growing these bananas over at their old house, and I'm really happy to continue it here at mine. Bananas are definitely the most tropical plant that I grow, and even they are feeling the stress of the heat. The rainy season hasn't been all that rainy, and the real feels have been over 100 degrees. I do have an idea of how I'm going to increase that water though for these banana plants, and it'll definitely be improved in the future. Moving on, this is the UF Red finger lime. The finger lime being resistant to the greening disease that's been taking out the citrus here in Florida. I have gotten one lime off of it so far, and it was like a beautiful magenta pinkish red on the inside. They call it like a caviar lime or a pearl lime because it's all these tiny little pearls on the inside when you break it open. We're walking over now to the east part of my garden. That was the north part of my garden. The east part of my garden probably being the most productive. This is a miracle fruit, and I know it looks like it's struggling, but believe me guys, it had 0 leaves when I put it in the ground. So this has been a successful resurrection in my opinion. I do need to feed it, it looks like, but it's coming along nicely. Moving over here to the pink no-no bananas, I think these guys are doing really well. They appreciate a little bit more shade, and they are on the east part of the house. They do get more shade. They get shaded from the upcoming sun, and they get shaded from the evening sun. However, I still think if I get them a little closer to the lanai, a little closer to the pool, that they could get more shade. So I did propagate 3 of those pups, and I'm going to experiment with different placement of them. I'm really excited to see how these bananas turn out. So these next 2 trees are probably in really awful locations. It seemed right at the time when I was planting them, but as everything's growing up, it's definitely very crowded. This is the Barbados cherry. It's growing in between 2 Christmas palms. It has flowered quite a few times, but it has never given me any fruit. You saw in one of my previous videos the peanut butter fruit tree. It's not having any ripe fruit right now, but it is in full flower right here, these beautiful yellow flowers. It fruits in this really crowded area, so maybe it appreciates a little bit more shade. It's just a little bit awkward, but you know what? It forms a really nice privacy hedge. There's my little pumpkin patch. Okay, walking you guys over to my Pettigrew mango tree. You saw this in a previous video as well. It still has the 1 fruit on it. The fruit has only gotten a little bit bigger. It is starting to ripen, I believe, as the top of it is getting a little bit more color to it, like a little bit of a yellowish color. You'll see that here in a second. It is a beautiful fruit. The fruit tree is pretty big. It's my oldest mango fruit tree. It's probably about 7 feet tall, I would say. And you guys are looking at the first mango that this tree has produced to maturity. Paul over at Fruitful Trees has been a huge inspiration to me as I grow fruit trees and started learning about growing fruit trees, and he highly recommended this variety, the Lara Pollock. It's an avocado variety. Obviously it hasn't fruited yet at this size, but it does have that unique growth pattern where it grows down before it grows up. I just love the shape of this tree, and I'm really hoping to get some good fruit off of it in the future. And who really doesn't like a good fishing story? This is Spalding. He's one of 2 of my coconut palms that were fished out of the canal by my parents. They found some sprouted coconuts bobbing along, and they got them out and started growing them for me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Okay, and walking over to my Sugar Bell mandarin tree. I got this from Zane's World, but I didn't go to their nursery. I got it from them at a fruit tree sale on the other coast. Again, it's supposed to be resistant to the greening disease just as the finger lime is resistant to the greening disease. Haven't gotten any fruit from it yet, but I hear that citrus takes a long time to produce. You might think that I just love bananas. This is the 3rd type of banana I'm showing you. It's the red dwarf banana. But guess what, guys? I don't even like bananas that much. Let me clarify. I don't like bananas just by themselves. I like making banana ice cream. I like banana bread. I want to make some banana chocolate chip cookies. So I have ideas for these bananas. Though I don't think technically it's a tree, I really wanted to show off the Southern Home Grapevine. It actually does have a trunk kind of like a tree here down at the ground. I know there's so much grass down here. I really have to get to cleaning it up. I do have like a little hand mower that I actually use to mow around the trunk, but it's producing quite a bit of grapes. Look at all these little clusters, and some of them are getting even some color to them. And yes, there is a little bird's nest in there even. I bet these grapevines really provide those birdies with a lot of shade. So I am excited to try these grapes for the first time this year. The grapevine is doing fabulous. Moving on over to my Florida Prince peach tree. I almost lost this peach tree to the Sri Lankan weevils, just like I almost lost my Lara pollock to the Sri Lankan weevils. You guys, those weevils are just awful. I am experimenting with different methods of controlling them, but I really think right now I'm just going to have to go out on a regular basis with a bucket of soapy water and just knock back their population. This is the best this tree's ever looked, and I'm really hoping that I can keep up with it. Look, that's the Sri Lankan weevil right there. Ah, it's awful. I can't even focus on it. Don't worry. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm hoping next year is going to be my first year getting peaches off this tree. This is the best it's ever looked, guys, and I'm really excited. I really hope that I can get some fruit off of this. I love peaches. Thank you to my coworker Annie who introduced me to the sapodilla fruit. It's just amazing. It's probably like the best tasting fruit I've ever had. This is a Silas Wood sapodilla. It's a small type of sapodilla, and it's supposed to be everbearing, growing lots of fruit throughout the year. I put it in the ground a couple months ago, and lo and behold, there's some Sri Lankan weevils. One of my experiments is controlling the larval stage with marigolds, just because marigolds affect the root knot nematode. But you can see there is a little fruit that's forming, so it is doing okay. It is growing and pushing past the damage of the Sri Lankan weevil. If I find any methods that's successful, I'll make sure to share it with you guys for sure. The next tree always fruits around April. It's the everbearing mulberry. It says it's everbearing. I don't remember if I get a couple harvests a year, but I always remember the April harvest because it's always ready to go when Mom and I go camping for her birthday. I cut it back pretty significantly recently. You can see that's why it's a pretty uniform height. And hey, look, a new bird's nest. I never even noticed that before today. So the mulberries are pretty small on this everbearing mulberry, and I'm really interested in actually getting a bigger type of mulberry tree, like one that produces bigger berries, not necessarily a bigger tree. I do like the idea of dwarf varieties of fruit trees, but I'm thinking maybe a Thai dwarf would be a good selection for me. Whether I replace this tree or just add it in addition to my yard, I haven't quite decided yet. And one of the most well-known and well-loved mango trees is the Pickering mango. And yes, as you can see, more damage from the Sri Lankan weevil. The Pickering variety is supposed to stay exceedingly small, or at least it has really compact growth. I think dwarf just really means that it's a slow grower or that it has small internodes as opposed to long internodes. But regardless, I really loved the Pickering when I tried it last year, so I got myself a tree last year, and we'll see how this grows. And let me walk you over to my third and final mango tree, the Rosy Gold. I actually just had my I had my second Rosy Gold mango off this tree yesterday. I picked it just a little early because it had some splitting to it, and I wanted to eat it and let it counter ripen before any of the bugs or maybe even rodents got to it. And so I let it counter ripen for a little bit and I ate it and it was pretty good. You know, I can't complain. For the second mango that this tree has produced for me, I really can't complain. This year was the first year that my mango trees really produced well at all. And unfortunately, I had a lot of fruit drop from high windstorms that we had when there was just tiny little fruitlets on the tree, so I did lose a lot of them. That's Wilson. That's the other coconut palm that my parents fished out of the canal for me. So that's it for the fruit trees in my backyard, but I will kind of cut and show you guys. I do have one fruit tree growing in my front yard, and that is the Bradenton Loquat. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, follow along for more content. I'm going to keep showing you my garden and keep showing you what grows well here in Southwest Florida.